This is the Paltalk News Network.
The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users, on demand on iTunes and on demand on YouTube, and on Gary's blog, www.garybaumgarten.com, and, of course, on the PaltalkNewsNetwork.com, where you're invited to comment whether you agree with Gary or not. As Gary says, no retribution. Well, I might, there might be some retribution from me, but you'll have to just handle that. And thanks to our friends on CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated coast to coast across the United States, 12 million additional households, thanks to Digital Sounds Barnsley and to ASI Radio and TV for carrying our show. I'm your guest host, Boaz Franco. That's right, Gary is out. He's on assignment. What he's doing, I cannot say because I do not know. He just needed the day off, so here I am hosting the show. I'm going to spend a nice hour with you good people and talk about a couple of things that have been going on in the news today and to see what your opinion is about these particular items. The first issue that I want to start off with is particular item is an article that David Swanson wrote on the PaltalkNewsNetwork.com site, where the title of the article is Obama's Rejection Speech. And what David Swanson is referring to is the Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech that Obama gave in receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. And David Swanson says that it was not an acceptance speech. He thought it was an infomercial for war. And why does he say that? Well, let's see here. We'll just read the first couple of sentences. President Obama took the Peace Prize home with him, but left behind in Oslo his praise for war, his claims for war, and his view of an alternative and more peaceful approach to the world consisting of murderous economic sanctions. President Obama receives the Nobel Peace Prize, and if we go back, to the days of the campaign, and this is not unique to President Obama. I think practically every president has made promises and whatnot, but the President Obama, at least in his campaign, left the impression that America is not going to war anymore and that we are going to do everything in our power to not have war and to talk and to do more peace negotiations and whatnot. And here, in accepting the Nobel Peace Prize, he's actually justifying the means of war, that it's needed and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to, for one, I'm not going to call President Obama a liar because, there's a big difference between when you're running a presidential campaign and then becoming president, when the whole plate is put in front of you and then you see what you are president of when you actually become the president. So things can change, and of course that's just my opinion. I'm trying, and another thing too, folks, I do have my own opinions, but being the host of the show, I usually try not to take sides at all. I'd like to play more the role of referee and hear all sides and make commentary on whether I agree or not. But I'm not going to push my opinions too hard being the host of the show, because it's too easy to do that on such a bully pulpit as being the host of a show. But anyway, this is the impression that President Obama left when he accepted the Nobel Peace Prize. And I'd like to hear what you have to say about that before we move on to our next topic and see where that goes. But before we get to our callers, I'd like to call upon Alan J.C., our political correspondent, and then after Alan to bring in Cassandra, our commentator from the United Kingdom. Alan, our political correspondent of the Paltalk News Network, what do you think about the impression that Obama left at the Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, let me explain one thing to you, Boaz, and hello, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Kudos to Boaz for filling in on such short notice. I just want to say that, during the campaign, I think one of the things that was mistaken by many people was that while President Obama was certainly opposed to the Iraq war, he did campaign on saying that the Afghan war was the just war and that we needed to be more involved there, and that that was a mission of necessity, while Iraq was a war of choice. That being said, now he finds himself in Afghanistan ratcheting it up, involved with a surge, which he did oppose and has in Iraq, and has since admitted to his mistake in opposing Petraeus's plan. He even told that to Petraeus last week that the surge in Iraq was a success. I would say that he did promise that he would support what was going on in Afghanistan. But like I said, at the same time, with what's happened with Ahmed Karzai rigging the election and all of these things, I mean it's obviously a very difficult position he finds himself in now. And even now, you're seeing the message points coming out of Washington, and basically it's almost, while yes, we're sending troops to Afghanistan, Afghanistan's not really the front. The front is really Pakistan. And so that they're almost trying to shift over one country. Yes, we know Pakistan is probably the most dangerous place on earth right now, just because of, it's a nuclear power, and it certainly has hostile elements there that are hostile to the West, that are hostile to the Pakistani government, and that will and certainly make another nuclear power, next door neighbor, India, quite nervous if that nuclear stockpile was ever to fall into the wrong hands. And in a very short time, you could have close to 1 billion people dead if the Indians got nervous. So I think that this whole thing with the president, accepting this Peace Prize today, I mean, I think that I do believe that at the time when he was named as the recipient, that he should have out and out turned it down. There was no reason for this young president who had not accomplished anything deserved of winning this prize. And as most of you know, I disagree with the president on a number of things. I still am a supporter